We'll look back down Bank Street, back where that boat was. You can see an ambulance about 4 blocks toward town on Bank Street. We've been here for about 45 minutes. That ambulance has progressed about those 4 blocks. It can't get any further. Obviously, by some of the people who are gathered here, there are emergency situations in town, and there appears to be some sort of problem with EMS getting where it needs to get. Banks, of course, one of the main streets in Mid-City, and it's virtually impassable. We have another boat on Bank Street there as people trying to get back and forth from their homes to the convenience store to get a few vitals. If you come back toward me, Kevin, you can take a look at the neutral ground here, and you can see just dotted with scores of cars. Many people slept in these cars last night because they could not proceed to their homes. It would not have been safe. They decided to wait this one out and stay someplace where their cars are dry, and at least they will have their vehicles ready for them in the morning. And Kevin, if you'll take a look at the whirlpools over here, just to show the folks that the pumping system is working. We've had 2 major suctions down here since we've been here for about the last 45 minutes. There have been people here trying to clear the trash away from the drains, just citizens. We haven't seen anybody from Sewerage and Water Board trying to keep them clean, but obviously that's a strong whirlpool here at Banks and South Jeff Davis Parkway, trying to pull the water out of here. Many of the city's thoroughfares have become makeshift canals at this point. The water hasn't gone down very much all night long. The people here say it may have gone down a couple of inches in their homes. Some of the streets are dry. Canal Street is dry. Some of the streets downtown Poydras is dry. The parking lot at Harrah's Casino is dry of all things. But here in the heart of Mid-City, you could see that some 7 or 8 hours after the bulk of the rain fell last night, it's still pretty much a torrential flood. Coming this way toward town, up Banks, is the New Orleans police wagon. I don't see a whole lot of assistance in there. It just looks like one officer. We don't know where they are going.
Rob, how is the intersection of Jeff Davis and Tulane? That looked real bad for a while.
Jeff Davis and Tulane is impassable to all but high vehicles, Explorer-type vehicles, sport utility vehicles. The Shell station there is crowded with people. We passed by some people there earlier today. A lot of tourists were there at that Shell station seeking shelter.
Yeah, there were a lot of tourists out overnight on Canal Street, which you now say is dry, Rob?
Much of Canal Street is dry. Canal Street is certainly more passable than Tulane Avenue is, John. So if anybody, I know we're not advising anybody to try and make their way downtown, but I think if an emergency occurs, the chances are better that you can make it up Canal. And if Kevin can look over toward Canal for us, we do see vehicles passing down there off in the distance beyond those swing sets. They look like they're doing about 5 or 10 miles an hour, and certainly that's moving at a much better clip than we saw on Tulane Avenue at South Jeff Davis a short while ago.
All right, well, on the one hand, we don't want to be encouraging people to get out in this, but on the other hand, the city, for one, and many other employers are expecting their people today. So Rob Masson telling us there that perhaps the best route would be Canal over Tulane. Also, parts of Poydras were, even during some of the worst of this in the middle of the night, were passable.
But the problem is, even if you can get down Canal Street, you don't know when you're going to run into something like this that you can't get through.
Right.
And then
Right.
you'll be stuck sitting on a neutral ground someplace. So you really are just better off taking the advice of the people who know about these things and not venturing out.
Yeah. If you have the choice, it just
don't
doesn't
go.
make sense.
Bob Harvey, the president of the Orleans Parish Levee Board, is joining us now by telephone. Mr. Harvey, what's the situation from the Levee Board standpoint? We've talked to Bill Allerton a couple of times throughout the night and this morning, and he's been giving us updates on the floodgates. But maybe you can give us a little bit about the damage at Lakefront Airport.
Well, I understand a tornado struck, and we had extensive damage to 2 of our FBOs and 17 aircraft. However, our airport is open, and we have offered to take flights from Moisant, since it is New Orleans International, since it's closed. We can accommodate some of the aircraft if they have to land here at this time. Additionally, we have opened our field yard on Franklin Avenue to anyone who need some shelter until they can get themselves straightened out. So they're setting up some cots, coffee and donuts, and just a place for someone to maybe get out of the weather and rest, because I know most people have been up all night. I didn't get in till 2:30. The floodgate situation, this was not a, we are in a hurricane alert at the levee board, but only because these are effects of a hurricane. But the floodgates are fine. The water was really from the inside, and we really need to leave them open to get it out.
Mr. Harvey, when you say you can accommodate New Orleans International at Lakefront, do you mean general aviation or actually passenger flights?
Well, we can take, we contacted ValueJet and a couple of the smaller airlines who have these regular flights. We can accommodate them, and we've offered. We've just simply offered since their entire schedule has been set back.
Have they taken you up on it?
I haven't heard yet. Mr. Maloney, our aviation director, made the offer, and of course we're standing by to accommodate.
What about sandbagging? I know the levee board's got this incredible sandbagging operation that they can throw into effect. It may actually be too late for sandbags for most of the people on this side of the lake.
You're correct, Margaret, and I wish, who would know we were going to have 19 inches of rain? No one suspected it, and of course generally when we have notice we make sandbags available, but if anyone needs any, we do have sandbags at Franklin Avenue, and they're free, and they can take their trucks and go over and get them.
If they can get there, I guess, in their trucks.
That's really the issue, and last night, being out at 2:30 myself, I was fortunate to witness a real heroic act by a young man who's with the FEMA task force, swam out and rescued 3 people sitting on the top of a van which had been completely covered with 6 inches. I don't know who the gentleman is, but somebody needs to give him a medal.
Where was that?
That was right by the exit, the I-10 exit by Xavier to Carrollton Avenue. And the van was totally submerged, and a young lady and her daughter and a young man was standing on top of it in 6 inches of water.
Well, I think we had videotape of those cars, the area that you're talking about, and they were absolutely covered with water. We did not see the rescue, but we certainly had video of those automobiles, the very ones that you're probably talking about, under the Carrollton overpass.
He swam out with a vest and a rope and tied him up and yanked him back. It was encouraging to see it. But if anyone needs any help from the Levee Board Police, we're there. They're on standby, and we'll be happy to help and assist anyone we can.
Are you seeing much improvement in the water level out there near the lakefront?
Somewhat, but not a great deal. It just seems to be standing.
It's going to be slow going, I'm afraid, for most of the morning.
It is. It's very difficult to get anywhere, because generally every intersection where there's an underpass, and every intersection such as Tulane and Jeff Davis, just seems to be underwater.
Here's some improvisation. This guy's paddling with a shovel. Do you see this?
Whatever works.
He's in his pirogue, and it is working. So let's give him credit for that. Well, Bob Harvey, thank you for joining us. If you have any updates or information you'd like to pass along from the Levee Board, give us a call back. We'll be glad to pass it along to our viewers.
Thank you.
All right,
Y'all
thank you.
have a good day.